The water here looks calm. Fishing boats still pass nearby. From the surface, nothing appears broken. But beneath this quiet stretch of sea lies a wreck authorities quietly warn against disturbing. Not because it might explode, not because it could collapse, but because it is still poisoning the water around it. Nearly 80 years after the war ended, this ship continues to leak what it was never meant to release into the ocean, an invisible danger, spreading slowly through sediment and current. The war did not leave this place. When the guns fell silent, it simply sank and waited. How can a ship lost during World War II still be killing today? World War II was not fought by warships alone. It was sustained by movement. Across the oceans, thousands of vessels carried the materials that modern war depended on: fuel, chemicals, and industrial cargo meant to be consumed quickly, not preserved. These ships were not symbols of firepower. They were symbols of necessity, quietly enabling everything else. This vessel was one of them. It sailed without ceremony, without headlines. Its mission was logistical, not heroic. What it carried was dangerous by design, but only within the controlled timelines of war. Tanks were sealed for weeks or months, engineered for urgency, not endurance. The crew understood the risks of the sea far more than the risks of the future. Their concern was the crossing ahead, submarines below, aircraft above, mines waiting unseen. Survival meant reaching the destination, nothing more. During a wartime crossing, the ship was caught in an attack it was never meant to endure. Damaged beyond recovery, it was abandoned at sea. Official records marked the loss as complete. But nothing about what followed was complete. The wreck settled onto the seabed, carrying its contents intact, sealed by wartime engineering and wartime assumptions. No one planned for what would happen when steel weakened, when seals failed, when time itself became the enemy. The war moved on. Ports reopened. Shipping routes returned to peacetime. The ship remained where it fell, not as a battlefield casualty, but as a decision that was never meant to last this long. The descent begins slowly. Sunlight fades within minutes, replaced by a narrowing cone of artificial light. Water temperature drops, pressure builds. The surface world disappears without ceremony. As the ROV moves deeper, instruments activate. Baseline readings settle, then begin to drift. The seafloor comes into view, uneven and darker than expected. Sediment lies flat in most directions, but ahead, something looks wrong. Patches of seabed appear discolored. Marine life thins, then breaks apart entirely, leaving stretches of emptiness where growth should be dense. Sensors confirm what the eye already suspects. The surrounding water carries traces that do not belong here. Then the wreck emerges. Its outline is subdued, partially buried, almost reluctant to reveal itself. Steel plates are warped and softened by decades of corrosion. The structure is intact enough to be recognizable, but not sealed enough to be safe. Along the lower hull, seams once reinforced for wartime crossings have failed. Not violently, quietly. The ROV slows as it approaches a fractured section near the ship's underside. This is not a dramatic rupture. It is worse than that, a gradual opening created by time, pressure, and neglect. Inside the breach, darkness deepens. The ship has not collapsed. It has not exploded. It has simply begun to come apart, at exactly the speed the ocean allows. The ROV passes through the fractured section and enters the ship's interior. Inside, the geometry immediately feels wrong. Corridors narrow. Bulkheads lean inward, no longer aligned to human movement, but to pressure and collapse. What was once designed to travel now exists only to endure what surrounds it. The light moves slowly across the cargo spaces. Tanks line the compartment walls, their surfaces scarred, blistered, and uneven. Valves remain where crews last left them, frozen in positions meant for a journey that never finished. The seals around them have failed not suddenly, but gradually, surrendering to time. There is no single rupture to point to, no dramatic breach. Instead, there are countless small ones. Residue clings to metal and sediment alike. Thin layers mark where containment weakened, where materials escaped not by force, but by patience. What was designed to be handled in ports and refineries now spreads without instruction, following gravity and current alone. This is not a spill. It is a seep, a process measured not in minutes, but in decades. The ROV's instruments register traces that should not exist here. The seabed nearby is heavier, darker, quieter. Marine life avoids these spaces, leaving behind areas that feel unfinished, as if the ocean itself hesitated. The camera pulls away from the cargo holds and drifts into an adjacent compartment. Here, the damage feels different. This space is smaller, more contained, less altered by leakage. The walls still carry the shape of their original purpose: human presence, routine, storage. Against one side, partially covered by silt, lies a personal object. It is small, ordinary, easy to overlook. Perhaps it slipped from a pocket during the evacuation. Perhaps it was set down, meant to be retrieved later. Later never came. It has nothing to do with the cargo. It has nothing to do with strategy or supply. It belonged to someone who left this ship believing the danger was temporary, believing the war would end somewhere else. The ROV pauses. The camera does not move closer at first. It allows the object to remain where it is. No attempt is made to explain it. No name is given. Around it, the ship continues to decay. Above it, the cargo continues to escape its boundaries. This single item remains exactly where it was last placed, a quiet record of human routine interrupted by decisions whose consequences outlived everyone involved. The wreck does not announce its danger. It does not demand attention. It simply continues. Above the wreck, the sea continues to move as it always has. Fishing grounds reopen. Shipping lanes remain active. Life goes on. But what escapes from this ship does not remain contained by depth or distance. What settles into sediment enters the food chain. What accumulates in silence moves upward slowly, invisibly passing through creatures, currents, and time. Communities may never know where the harm began. There is no marker on the surface, no warning buoy, no clear moment when danger announces itself. This wreck does not threaten through violence. It threatens through persistence. The war ended. The weapons were forgotten. But the consequences were never recovered. Somewhere beneath the water, a decision made under wartime pressure continues to unfold, long after the people who made it are gone.